Wow. Wow. Yo. Hey, welcome back for another episode of the Speak the Truth podcast. I am your host, Matt Tardio, and today's episode is being brought to you by Qlayaa. New information is coming out about the Iranian attack on Israel, and what everybody is saying is that Iran is going to launch ballistic missiles and drones from Iraq and Lebanon at Israel for retaliation. And it is expected to happen before Election Day here in the United States. Very little information is actually out on it right now, and a lot of it has to do with Iranian officials that have talked to news agencies. So as soon as we get more accurate information, we will let you guys know what's actually going to be happening. But I think it's a fair assessment based on what we know about Iran's current capabilities and the way they have actually conducted themselves in the past. We're still expecting Israel to attack Iran for going after Netanyahu. So we're waiting on that one too. But the focus of today's episode is going to be on southern Lebanon. We have some new updates across the front. It looks like Israel's actually moving in to take care of one of their key objectives on the northern front inside of southern Lebanon. Now, I updated this map for you guys just slightly to let you know what Israel is doing. They have expanded their airstrike zone. Obviously, we saw airstrikes up in Nabatieh, but today Israel actually ended up releasing another evacuation order for Nabatieh. I have videos coming at you from all across the front down here in the south, up along the southern and western fronts. But here at the end, we're going to be talking about this village, Qlayaa, where it looks like Israel is launching a major assault right now. Not a lot of information is actually out on it, but I've been able to read between the lines. And it looks like Israel is going to take this key northern objective right up over here. All right, this is a major crossroad in a city called Qlayaa. I believe it's pronounced Qlayaa. We're going to talk about that as well, because it doesn't look like Israel has been bombing the crap out of that place like I expected it to be, and I know why. Now, this video is coming from that northern area, Nabatieh, that I was talking to you guys about. It looks like Israel has conducted 68, you heard me right, 68 airstrikes over the last 24 hours up there. Check this out. Hey. Yeah, Imam Ali. Yalla, bye, bye, bye. So why is Israel slamming on Nabatieh so flipping hard? Well, if you pay attention to what we have labeled as key objectives over here on the map, Israel's got to isolate the front. And what you see is this major intersection right here. And that major intersection is going to be heavily guarded and heavily used by Hezbollah. So Israel's got to be able to lock that sucker down. And from the last video I saw that came out of there, it definitely looks like it's pretty much a ghost town minus Hezbollah fighters, I guess, if they're still bombing it. Now, this next video is actually coming out of the north, all right? We're going to go all the way up over here to Mount Lebanon inside of northern Lebanon. It is just to the east, southeast of Tripoli. Up there, we have this report that came in of an IDF airstrike that actually ended up targeting this van, and it looks like it was carrying anti-tank guided missiles. Watch this drive-by here. Now, as it starts to get a little bit closer, you end up seeing a tail. That's fine. We're going to pay attention to that. I truthfully, I can't identify that right now, and I'm not going to waste my time doing it because what's actually important is coming up. Give it just 1 second here. So there's our van on fire, and right there on the ground, you can actually start to see them get scattered. These guys right here, these are those anti-tank guided missiles that they've been launching at Israel. There's another one all the way back over here, right up in front of the vehicle. You can see one on the ground there. And as it continues to go back, you can see all of this wreckage and dunnage. There you can see an ammo crate. And that is that pretty much for what they have. So those smuggling routes that Hezbollah has been using up there in the north are still smuggling routes. And again, it is on the Lebanese government to shut it down, but obviously they haven't. That's why Israel is conducting their airstrikes up there. Now, this next video that I have for you, again, is going to end up coming from the northern front in this town called Qlayaa. Now, again, there's Qlayaa, whatever, that major objective that I talked to you guys about in the north. This video is going to be coming right out of here, just to the south of that. Now, what this is actually showing you is the level of destruction that kind of got left behind following all the fighting. Israel has pushed through this area. It would be what we would call white space, i.e. Israel has gone through and secured it. And this video is just showing you the amount of fighting that has actually taken place in order to get it secured. It would appear that pretty much all of these buildings over there have been used as some sort of a Hezbollah support structure. And a lot of people will probably come out and say that that's just the IDF being genocidal and trying to wipe people off the map. But we've actually seen them use a lot of discretion in certain areas. We've seen certain neighborhoods taken out in some of these larger villages. We see certain sections of the villages that end up being taken out. In this one, though, right up along the border, we see pretty much everything is just completely and totally leveled. I actually haven't even watched this video all the way through, though. I would be surprised if we didn't end up seeing some type of munitions or something like that inside of all these buildings laying on the ground, things of that nature as you're going through it. But highly doubt it, because the IDF has, I don't want to say this, cleared through it, right? So their combat engineers would go through there and take care of all that UXO. You can clearly see all the tank tracks. The amount of dirt that's on that road shows you like the amount of movement that they've actually done just to get that far. Now we're going to go up to outside of the northern objective. All right. So going back over to this map, what we're talking about is this village right up over here in the top right, Qlayaa. Now the objective that I have labeled out is just north of Metula, which is right here. Okay. But just north of Metula, going all the way up here, it's about 3 miles north of the border, you have this key intersection. I believe this is what Israel wants to take. And we're going to talk about what's actually taking place inside there today, because it's stupid interesting. But right now, Israel appears to be on the outskirts of this village with armor being spotted moving in, i.e. tanks, and the whole place is currently under mortar fire. Now, this is one of the first images that actually I got coming out of there. And there's, I think, like 2 of these. And what it looks like is air burst phosphorus rounds and or it could be a munitions depot. I don't believe that's what it is. I'm pretty sure it's air burst phosphorus, because here you can see this big giant smoke cloud, and then you see all of this fire falling down on it. Now, people will be saying that this is potentially a war crime. Again, it depends on what they're doing with the munition. So that, and again, reportedly, that's where this is coming out of. I haven't confirmed it. There's no way for me to do that. It's just where it's reported coming out of. Now, this video actually emerged, I think it was 2 days ago I showed it, but now it's being reported as coming out of that same exact vicinity. So I'm going to show it again. Again, this would be Israel advancing through some of these smaller villages in an attempt to get to the outskirts of that city that we're talking about. That was one heck of a boom. Now, this is actually what it looked like during daylight hours today, reportedly coming out on the outskirts of that village. This video reportedly is showing tanks moving into that village, or at least attempting to get to it. Now, I didn't see any armor moving around on the ground over here, but I did see a couple things. And it is very possible, because you can see a couple different strikes like moving through there. It is very possible that there's... I am super excited to tell you guys about a new app that's called Qlayaa. It's also available on desktop, and that's what you're looking at it at currently. Now, this is the first time in 100 years where you can legally trade on the elections in all 50 states, and you do it right here on this website or through their mobile app at Qlayaa. Now, check this out. I want to explain to you guys how this works. It's pretty simple, actually. So right now we're looking at who will win the presidential election. And as you can see up there on your screen, Donald Trump right now, they're saying has a higher percentage. And why are they saying that? Because more people believe in that, and they're putting their money where their mouth is. Now, I showed this the other day. Let's say you want to bet yes that Donald Trump is going to win the election. You click on yes. You end up putting the dollar amount down that you want. We're putting 100 down. All right. And saying that, yep, Donald's going to win. And it's coming in right now at about 59-ish cents per contract. That's going to end up getting me 169 contracts. I hope you're keeping up here. Now, if Donald Trump wins, I end up getting $169 back. That'd be a profit of $69.29. Now, if he loses, I get nothing. So why does it actually come out to be $69.29? It's really interesting. Basically, if you were to take 41 cents, multiply it by 169, it's going to come out directly to be 69.29. Now, this is really cool that you can actually do this, and there's also several other things that you can vote on, not just like there at the national level, but also in multiple states, right? So here's what's cool. Qlayaa has already facilitated over $1 billion in trades, and the election markets are now live to trade. You can sign up using my link, kalshi.com/Rob, and the first 500 traders who deposit $50 will get a free $20 credit. Come on, get over there. Tanks over there, and the person taking this video actually saw it. But what we do see up here on this ridge line, which I don't know why it would be there, appears to be a military vehicle, more than likely a Humvee with like a shell on the back. That's kind of what it looks like to me. This next one is another video coming out of that village as well. Now, in this video, you can clearly see armor moving over to the outskirts of the village. I haven't attempted to geolocate it yet, but this gives a pretty good overlay of what I was talking about when it comes to terrain. The IDF has to fight through all this different terrain. Remember, I said they are using discretion. They're not bombing everything to the ground. There's a building with, it looks like that took a strike from either an artillery shell or a small diameter bomb up here in the top right corner of the screen, and you have everything else that's standing. And you've got armor that's pushing up through the middle right there, which is really interesting. So they're moving up there. To me, that would signify that there's likely troops already at the top of the hill. I would not be sending armor up that hill without troops in front of it, but that's just me. But I understand that Israel might be doing things a little bit differently. But there you go. Here you got your armor moving right up the hill right there. Now, all of that is being reported right out here on the outskirts of Qlayaa. Now, the interesting part is firefights to the east and west of this town, but over here in Qlayaa, this key objective, this key route intersection, allegedly Israel has been sparing the area of airstrikes. They're not leveling it. They're not like harming people up over there. And I think I actually know why today. We are starting to get reports that the citizens on the ground over there are actually attacking Hezbollah fighters. They're saying that there is Christians up there that are actually taking the fight to the Hezbollah fighters. Now, reportedly, one Hezbollah operative was killed on the ground. A couple others were captured, and they waited for, I guess, the Lebanese military or something to come and take them away. But it looks like they're actually fighting back up over there. This report is coming out of Lemonade, France. It's a French newspaper, I'm guessing, Middle Eastern, I don't know. But either way, they're actually talking about what's actually happening up there. And they're talking in this village within itself being a Christian village, that Israel is not going after it. And again, today, they are actually rising up against Hezbollah, or at least so it would seem. Now, up on your screen is just some stock footage from the IDF showing a couple of the different weapons that they've captured inside of southern Lebanon. I'm going to remind you guys that this is going to continue to be a slow fight. It's 3 miles to get to that key objective, but you saw the type of terrain that they have to push through and how well dug in the enemy is. And if you don't think they are that dug in, holy crap. AP mine, M18, I'll be darned. That's a Claymore mine. I'll be danged. That is, in fact, a Claymore mine. What the heck? No frickin' way. How? You ever just ask yourself how sometimes? How the heck did they get M18 Claymores? That's Hezbollah weapons, reportedly. I got questions now. I did not notice that the first time I watched that video. Well, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for joining me for another episode. If you haven't yet, make sure you guys get over and check out our merch. It's linked in the description down below, right underneath our sponsor. You guys can head over there and get your guys some sexy new apparel from NFG. We relaunched it, and included in that is Hamas Hunting Club shirts. Make sure you guys stop in and go grab yourselves some. Until next time, peace, love, happiness, and God bless, ladies and gentlemen. I'm out of here.